so it's hard to defend. He doesn't have any pylons powering his base, so he knew he had lost, so he decided to good game out of this game. And we see one more attack from Darkforce early on, 2-base, kind of all-in Roach and Zergling. It's worked one time and it's been foiled the other time. Let's see what we're gonna see in Game 3. I'll see you guys there. PGLmilnecraft signing off. Hello and greetings, fellow StarCrafters. To Game 3 between HasuOBS, the red Protoss player here, and Darkforce, the blue Zerg player here. I just realized that we saw... I already recapped kind of the both games from previously, but for those of you who haven't watched the previous games, which I'm not sure why you haven't watched the previous games, look at that nice worker in micro. But for those of you who haven't watched the previous games, both games were just a 2-base, Roach Zergling all in on the part of Darkforce. Game 1 wasn't necessarily like a super all-in. It was relatively economically based, but HasuOBS was able to rebuild and deal enough damage on the return attack that it ended up being kind of an all-in. But anyway, we saw a lot of Roach Zergling, so it remains to be seen what we're going to see on this map. This map, of course, being Xel'Naga Caverns, in which you have an expansion with 2 divided entrances in the front and a little side hidden by vision-blocking bushes on the side, which, by the way, in the future, you'd think their vision would be obscured by little bushes. They'd have some sort of sensors or something. I mean, after all, they don't even use their own little... And saying something in German, I don't really understand that. But the Protoss, of course, they don't even use, like, real people to harvest their minerals, right? They build these, like, robots. Although, I guess we're just, like, kind of like the, Japanese robots. What are those? I'm not sure what those are called. Those little miniature robots that vacuum your floor for you. That's kind of like what probes are, basically, except if you have to glue a taser to one, and then that's exactly what it is. We see Darkforce going for the same build he did in the previous 2 builds, in which he gets a 14 gas, and a 14 pool. This... Yeah, I believe that's what build he was going. It might have been off by a drone or 2. We see the probe tasing the building there. It's going to take a long time before he's able to take that hatchery out. Probably going to be stopped well before then. Now he's just mining minerals. Oh, I thought he was going to try to mine minerals to get the drone to be able to stop. Which, by the way, if your probe is mining minerals and their drone tries to come up, sometimes the drones will bounce away, and it's like they have one less mineral patch than they actually do, which lowers their income for just a little bit. I thought he was going to try to return the minerals to the hatchery there, but instead he just keeps zapping it with his little taser. It's interesting that he can zap it with his taser while he's holding a little mineral patch in his mouth, Which actually, don't probes kind of bear a striking resemblance to Pikachu? I don't know, but it's just like in Smash Brothers when Pikachu holds like a Pokeball or like a baseball bat in its mouth. I feel like this probe looks a lot like Pikachu, and it's also got the little yellow thing going. Yeah, I'm thinking it's a pretty strong Pikachu. All right, we'll see a hatchery going down for Darkforce, unable to block it with the probe. Probe has failed. Thus, it's going to head home in shame. We're going to, tell its family that's no longer welcome. I don't know, maybe he'll have to get maintenance or something. This drone's going to click on minerals to sneak in out here, I'm pretty sure. Whoop! Yep, slide right through the Zealot. Zealot chases after him, not going to do it. Zealot standing guard on the door. He's the bouncer for the club. Making sure nobody under the age of 21 or whatever gets in. And go ahead and check. Just a regular gateway up at the top. I think it's just a spy for overlords, is my guess. To make sure that it doesn't get scouted. So we do have a 3-gate. It looks like he's going to be going for a 3-gate expansion. It's the same build that HasuOBS had in the first game. What you do is you just get 3 gateways. You build a lot of sentries. Use those sentries and those force fields to be able to kind of push out a little bit, just right down here. Be able to deal with any Zerglings that are lying around and go ahead and get your Nexus up. Now we do see an early Roach Warren one more time coming from Darkforce. This isn't super early. I do believe it is about the same time as the previous 2 games, but a lot of that is, I mean, you're going to want a Roach Warren to be able to defend against Protoss aggression, especially if it's Sentry Heavy aggression, which it looks like HasuOBS has done in the previous games and is likely to do in the future anyway. And you actually see HasuOBS pushing out a little bit, little Zergling causing him grief. But he'll push out, he'll either kill the Zergling, yep, he's going to kill the Zergling, he'll just sit there and take it, and then he's going to go ahead and put his Nexus down. Ooh, we do see 4 Roaches, though, from Darkforce. If we see a bunch more Roaches, Which, oh, he's a little low on gas, actually, so I don't think he's going to be able to build that many roaches. I don't think he put his units, his drones back onto gas fast enough to be able to do this all in, although he's just getting Zerglings as well. I believe speed is done. Yep, speed is done, and actually a little drone down here had little wings, which, by the way, I'm not quite sure why wings are the indication of speed being done, and wow, yeah, this is the exact same build, pretty much, that HasuOBS did in the previous game. 3 gateways right away, then a robotics facility, then the Nexus, the 4th gateway, and the Forge. The only thing he did differently is he had a cannon in that game. Also, he's got a little bit better wall right here. He could just go ahead and, you know, put his units right here, and the Zerglings are not going to be able to get us around. He can put a couple force fields to keep all the Zerglings out, which the Zerglings just went behind the little grass there to be able to stop anything from happening. He's going to send his Stalkers over there to deal with those guys. Only was able to get 1 kill on the Zerglings. The rest of the Zerglings are going to go ahead and skedaddle out of the hallway. Is that a cannon? Yep, we do see a cannon going down for a little bit of added protection. This is so it looks like HasuOBS is just gearing down to be able to protect this expansion. Meanwhile, his opponent is building 20 new Zerglings. Wow, that is a lot of Zerglings to be coming. He has 39 Zerglings, 11 roaches. That is a lot more forces than what he had in game 1. Now it looks like he's going to be moving down. Now the Zerglings are probably going to run force field. Nice force field timing, perfectly timed to be able to stop that. And she's able to trap some Zerglings as well. But there we go. The Zerglings are running down. That's the direction they should have been heading in the first place. Probes are going to go ahead and turn around and fight, defend their country. Well, I guess defend their little expansion, I guess. He's going to have to go up into the ramp just like he did in game 1. Those roaches are going to just chase him, though. But nice force field, able to keep those roaches back. Stalkers have longer range than the roaches, so they're able to just sit behind and keep attacking, which he should probably move out and attack a little bit more. Oh, he's getting a robotic sprayer now. That's a lot of money he's sinking into Colossus that he's not really going to benefit from. He might have a Colossus queued after this, or he might be aiming to get a Colossus. It's not going to matter because he's supply blocked right now. He lost his Nexus, lost his Forge, lost his Gateway, 2 pylons and a cannon, and 2 assimilators. That is so many minerals of stuff. Look at that, 1850 resources. That's 1,000 more than his opponent, which is so much in this early game. And the Stalkers will be able to move out, do a little bit of damage. It's not really going to matter. Darkforce is going to just go ahead and pull back. Or is he going to... Oh, he needs to be careful. And yeah, in fact, he's going to lose those Zerglings right there. Going to get blasted apart by that Immortal, eager for vengeance for the destruction of their Nexus and all of their loved ones who lived there. So it looks like Darkforce is going to go ahead and pull back. He is instead going to go ahead and get Lair Tech a little bit late, but that's because he went for the early rush. And we do see an observer kind of going around, flying around here, just scouting out, seeing what's going on. Looks like HasuOBS is going to go ahead and start getting his Colossus as long as his Colossus tech was ready. He did invest a lot of minerals into those. It's possible he could be going for, since he hasn't put down another expansion, it's possible he could just be going for a 1-base Colossus all in before his opponent gets any Corruptors to be able to deal with his Colossus. And actually, I'm not sure why he's getting an Immortal right now. It's possible he wants to use the 100 gas for something else. We see another Forge coming down. Oh, is he going to go ahead and build the expansion? Yeah, it looks like he's probably going to go back and build the expansion. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Thank you, little probe, for helping. Thank you, little probe, for being so vigilant for HasuOBS, even though he's far behind. We see a couple Spore Crawlers coming down. That's to deal with any sort of Dark Templar shenanigans and to deal with any sort of Void Ray shenanigans. Now, Spore Crawlers do take 12 seconds to burrow. That was one of the recent changes to the patch, is that they only take 6 seconds to burrow now, but since this is an older game, it's 12 seconds. And also, in addition, I did look into this, so, and that Zergling is going to get shot. But the version that's being played on this, Warp Gate timing is not been added 20 seconds to, so it's the regular timing that's been there since the beta, well, since late in the beta to now, till most recently. And also, Infestors do not do the 30% bonus damage to Armored, and they're no longer 4 seconds, they're still 8 seconds. So those are all the differences. That Zergling's lucky to be alive. You see him? Yeah, they see the Zergling. He's just going to sit there. He's ordering to move right now. He's trying to move into the minerals, I guess, but he's not going to live a whole lot longer as soon as HasuOBS notices that there's a little drone in his base. We see that Darkforce is actually going for Hydralisks, which tells me that, and that Zergling goes down. it tells me that he is actually not aware of what his opponent's going. Oh, actually, maybe he spotted the Stargate. My mistake, if he did. But I don't think he actually has spotted the Stargate, to be honest. No, he has not spotted the Stargate, so I'm not quite certain why he's going Hydralisk. Hydralisks are really good against gateway units, but he should have knowledge that his opponent's going for Colossus, and all of his units lose to Colossus pretty badly, with the exception of Roaches. Roaches are pretty good against Colossus. I mean, they're not really good. Like, they take a lot of damage, but it's not as bad as Hydralisks. They have almost twice as much health as a Hydralisk, and in addition, they can go ahead and move really quickly and then just snipe the Colossus if given the chance. You know, if the force fields aren't in the right space, for example. Overlord going in for a scout just to see where the Protoss army is, and the Protoss army is going to go ahead and move out for a little bit of a last hurrah. You see the Spire going down to try to get Corruptors to deal with the Colossus, and actually... Oh wow, this is an older replay. You have to click on the models to be able to see click on the units to be able to see their owners. I guess, I don't know, controllers, I suppose, generals. I guess for the Zerg it's not a general. Cerebrits, there's Cerebrits resources. Looks like the Protoss player is not going to go ahead and push out right now. He's going to go ahead and try to secure his own third expansion. He doesn't feel that engaging in some sort of open area on the creep is going to be very advantageous to him, especially with the Zerg with all these units. He sends some Stalkers forward to make sure there aren't any Zerglings. He doesn't want his opponents to see the entire composition, although that Overlord did get a pretty good shot of everything that was in his base. Puts another cannon down. I'm not quite certain what these cannons are for. I guess it's because if his army is over here trying to secure this expansion, he doesn't want to get flanked by any Zerglings. But the Zerglings would be able to run by these cannons, so I'm not quite certain what these cannons, how much good these cannons accomplish there. Remember, each cannon is 150 minerals. That's a gateway, or a stalker worth of resources or something like that. We do see 4 Corruptors coming out. That's actually not going to be enough. I can only imagine that he's going to be going for more, and we can actually see... yeah, he doesn't have very many resources, so he's just going to wait till he gets more resources. Protoss player is going to go ahead and do some little housekeeping. Got to get all the creep out of here. The Observer is going to spot for him just to make sure. He's only going to poke out, though. He doesn't want to engage the Zerg army. The Zerg army, which is 156 supply, versus the Protoss army, which is 118. That's a supply difference of almost 50, actually. Zerg player is 163. We see 6 more Corruptors coming. As soon as those Corruptors finish, I'll go ahead and check. We have about 9 Corruptors. That's exactly what you want. He's going to be able to move in here. Look at all those cannons. That's 4 cannons. He's going to have to cancel all of those. Now, you do definitely lose resources. Not as many resources as this says you lose, but you do lose resources. I believe it's 25%. It's the same ratio as salvaging the bunker under the new patch. I think. I'm not 100% certain about that. To be honest, I just know that you get most of your resources back. I actually never looked into exactly how much you lose. He is going for Hive Tech right away, which means he might be going for Broodlords. That might be one of the reasons he has so many Corruptors. Look at all those Corruptors. 12 Corruptors right now. And Air level 1, Weapons level 2, and Carapace level 1 all being upgraded. Meanwhile, the Protoss player, I believe, is at 001. So 1 weapons for the Protoss player. And every time he tries to build up his force, it just keeps getting destroyed. He must feel so bad. And all the Corruptors moving in, they're going to take out the Void Rays first. They're going to start dealing a lot of damage to the Colossus. We should see a fungal growth right here on these vulnerable units. Do we see it? Yep, a little bit of a fungal growth, probably a little bit late, but it's not going to matter a whole lot. The Zerg player is so far ahead. He's refilling with 21 Roaches. The Protoss player is not going to be able to refill that fast, and all the Corruptors are going to take out the Void Ray. They're going to take out the Colossus, and HasuOBS is going to go ahead and GG out of this game. We see that Darkforce with an early attack again, but able to deal a lot of damage, take out HasuOBS' early expansion, and then actually just go ahead and, macro up, get a 3rd base, get a 4th base, and just go ahead and defeat his opponent. Did a great job in these games. These are terrific games. I was really glad you're watching. Thanks to all you guys who are watching, and girls if there are any. But this is PGLmilnecraft signing off. This is a great best of 3. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Peace.